It's a bit hard to see, but the empty bowl is about 150 grams, and now I need to weigh up the cabbage that I use. So I put that on here. Since everything is a bit smaller, I need to make sure that I calculate things right. Let's see if I can get the 700. Yes, that's about 700. So we put the salt on here. I will mix that up both together anyway. But it's easier to squash it. And that's the next step. And I remember that very well from my grandmother, her doing it. You really need to squeeze it all really nicely. Now, of course, if you have, you can also use some tools to do this rather than scratching it with your hands. Make life easier and just use this little pot. Of course, if you do that and you only have a small one again, like me, then it will still take quite a while. But hey, maybe you got something bigger. Maybe you find a better way. Leave a comment if you have, if you find something that is really small and very easy to do. I'm very much interested in that. That also works, of course. And you really want to get the juices out of it. It is really about making sure that everything is nicely bruised and squeezed together. Otherwise, the fermentation process will take so much longer, or potentially even doesn't happen, because the bacteria really need the moisture and really need the breaking off the material, which is the cabbage in this case, to be nicely done.
If you have a really big bowl, which I don't, go for that. The more crushed it is, the better. Maybe you have, like I was thinking of getting a food processor, one of this rotating blades. That should work pretty well. Could also save you a lot of cutting work, but that's the more traditional way of doing it. Especially the big chunks, you really want to smash the pieces. And you can already see how the juices are coming out.
Let's see here. All the juices are coming up. Right. Time for the next load. Now with this all nicely filled up in here, as you can see, it reaches pretty much the top already. Now you don't want that. You want it to be almost half of the jar, just half. And for that I need to find something to push it down, because we also want the juices to be up on top, overflowing the actual cabbage leaves. So I have this little helper here that helps me to push everything a little bit further down. Get all the little chunks on the side. And throw some garden herbs on top of it. Some dill. If you don't have that, don't worry about it. This is just optional. And on top of that, some pepper, but there again, optional. Just like that. Let me push that down. There's another chunk missing, so. You want to have roughly a third of the jar still empty. Got that? We need something to push the leaves down under the waterline. And for that I found this quite useful, very flexible. It's a top of a coffee mug. Like this. And then we need something a little bit more heavier. So why not use this beautiful quartz crystal, just to show it off. That should do the trick. Now don't just close the lid, especially if it's a lid like this, because the gases that will come from the fermentation process will literally make that thing explode if it's airtight. So don't do that. I just reused the plastic, folded a couple of times, and put it on top of it. And of course, check it on a regular basis to make sure there is no massive pressure building up. Now all you gotta do is to find a quiet spot for it. It takes roughly 2 to 3 weeks to start the fermentation process, or to finish the fermentation process to a sauerkrautish taste. Of course, the longer you wait, the more intense the sauerkraut gets. So that's good. It's like wine or something like that. And I just leave it in my cupboard, nice and reasonably cool, no big temperature fluctuations. Perfect for this. And of course, check on a regular basis. Now, 2 weeks later. That looks pretty good. Let's give it a try. Okay, let's take the stone out first. And our little plastic friend. Wish me luck. Yeah. I will probably leave it a bit longer, just to get it a bit softer. But definitely sauerkraut. Enjoy.